Has anyone had to take a pay cut when looking for their next job? Buddy of mine went from $200K at a FAANG to making $110K at a different tech company. Said he was looking for months and had to take what he could find. He's continuing to look for higher offers though. Just wondering, have you or anyone you know had something similar happen? Or maybe the opposite? Yeah, I went from stupid money to normal money because the company went under. Probably because of all the stupid money. Yeah, went from nice money to okay. But changed tech stack completely to a company with guaranteed future. That's my coping strategy. Senior engineer in Germany with 10 yo. After my US-based startup failed, I joined an EU-based startup. My salary dropped from €170K to €120K, but with triple the equity. I am happy. The work-life balance is infinitely better. No one is working during weekends here and people actually use their vacation days. Yes. Went from £120,000 to £100,000 in London. I'd prefer to be unemployed and kept looking. But I'm on a visa. So can't stay without a job. It's not that uncommon in those last few months though. And personally, I don't mind the pay cut as much. I got a good severance, so that helps. What sucks is going to a company with bad practices and very little career development. That for me has been the worst part. I had a friend take a pay cut from about 250K TC to 150K in exchange for vastly better work-life balance and the ability to actually take vacations. My brother has maintained his salary, but he also no longer gets to work remote or even hybrid. I took a 15 pay cut to stay 100 remote. Yup. I peaked around 5 years ago. And every job since then has been lower than the one before. Mix of being lucky with equity at first. Trying to broaden my horizons instead of focusing on my specialty. Moving to a startup. And now the mini crash. Not me. My buddy who was laid off from a $150,000 year job was only able to land a job paying $120,000. Turns out their last employer was known for overpaying. He isn't 100 devastated about it since he was unemployed, yet he's now doing way more work for less money. I'm not in SW right now, but my last hop a few years ago came with a significant decrease and a significant increase in call. Still work there with no regrets. Salary has made its way back up. Rent has increased even faster. This happened to my friend, but he was over the moon about his new job. He didn't like the high pace, toxicness of his old job and took a pay cut for a way smaller business. He's happy and says he should have left the rat race ages ago. Yeah, I was at $300,000 at FAANG and had to drop quite a bit. The nice thing is my base salary is actually higher now, but all the equity is private. I still consider myself lucky when looking at the current state of the market. Sure, from 90K to 50K in a blink. Don't regret it at all. The company shut down earlier this year went from $320,000 TC to $185,000 TC monopoly money private. Stock options do not count. Though my base compensation remained nearly the same at $185,000. Missing that sweet public traded RSUs and decent bonuses though. Plus I enjoyed my work far more than current job. Yup, went from 100H to 80H. I've just taken an on-paper pay cut. But because the pension is better at the new company, it's basically equivalent. Toxic team. Terrible management. Just needed to get out. Don't need this stress in my life. I had a couple of better offers, but they involved more travel. So wouldn't have really worked. The only reason people need that TC is housing prices in Bay Area. May seem excessive, but it's really not if you're the sole breadwinner with a 1.2 mil mortgage. I was making $140K in the oil field and I now work at a defense contractor for $85K a year. I work from home and I actually have a life. Now that I have this job on my resume, I will job hop in 2 years to another tech company so I can make $100K a year. I took a small pay cut for better WLB. You might also take a pay cut if your RSUs grew a lot and inflated your TC. Although it was only a small pay cut at the time. If I stayed another year, my RSUs would have doubled and made the difference much bigger. Recently laid off from FAANG and I am making more money than I was. I ended up at a large Fortune 500 company that you wouldn't traditionally think of when talking about tech companies. TC went from $225K to $255K. Not a huge bump, but it's still significant and I was willing to take a pay cut. Yeah, this happened to me. Not when looking. No. I didn't tell my employer at the time I was looking. I have accepted jobs with a pay cut if the job I was leaving sucked enough. That cut happened after the looking phase. I'm likely about to accept 100 from 120. 100 is still more than I made at the place before 120 and more than I need, so not the end of the world. I'm justifying it because the new place is profitable and has job security while the previous was a startup with limited runway. Laid off 50 of the company earlier this year. And then pivoted to AI in a way that's worse than their early competitors. I feel pretty strongly that even if I wasn't laid off already, then it'd be right around the corner. After this pivot doesn't work out. 26 years in IT. Laid off when making around $200,000. Unemployed for 2.5 months and severance plus unemployment. Got intermediate job paying around $hard, and one opportunity where I was put on hold was reopened. Finally joined them, but still making only $160,000. It's better to have a job even with 20 pay cut rather than be unemployed. Went from $230K to $155K when leaving FAANG. I won't say that I don't miss all that potential money. But I gained more experience in the first 6 months at my new company than I did in 4 years at FAANG. Plus, I've gotten promoted twice since leaving, so this has kickstarted my career. You didn't really ask for the why or anything. But I'm happy to answer follow-up questions. The pay cut is real. I have a friend that went from 160 at Amazon to 108 for Alaskan Airlines. I took 20 TC pay cut due to unvested RSU to work on problems that'll challenge me more and make me a better engineer, hopefully. I was looking for the job for roughly a month, while having no pressure to leave from my old position. Money isn't everything after a certain level. First job out of school was $105K per year fully remote during the 2022 gold rush. Got laid off after 3 months as it ended. Currently work at a smaller company for $67K per year. Working 2 days in office.